Hi, I'm Donna from the North Carroll branch. Welcome to What to Read Wednesday. In keeping with the library's summer reading theme, Tales and Tales, I am featuring Dog Tales this week. Remember to register for summer reading. It's a chance to win prizes for reading and for all ages from baby to adult.
Okay, I see you.
Who doesn't love dogs? They're cute, they love you unconditionally, they're lots of fun. This is my dog, Casey. He's a year old, and he is full of fun, and he's also full of mischief if you want to know the truth. But I look forward to seeing him every day. He gives me great greetings, and he makes me take my life a little less seriously, and he's a lot of fun. And whether or not you have your own pet dog, you will fall in love with the dogs in these books. There's something for everyone in this collection. Like romantic stories, you'll find those. More of a serious fiction reader, I have those too. Into mysteries, there are lots of great series that feature dogs. Many of these are humorous, and let's face it, if you like dogs, you probably have a sense of humor. And remember, these tales have one thing in common. They remind us that dogs, despite the trouble they may occasionally get into, love us unconditionally and add so much to our lives. These are all in book format. Some are available in audio, and you will find some in digital format as well. Just check Overdrive, Libby, or Hoopla for those. CCPL's catalog will let you know as well. Some of these titles have been made into movies. CCPL has those as well in DVD format. One of the first dog fiction authors I discovered was Susan Wilson. Years ago, she wrote women's fiction and was pretty successful. I liked her books then and still wouldn't hesitate to recommend them. But as of 2010, she began writing dog stories, starting with One Good Dog. She has written 7 dog stories in all. The first one I read was The Dog Who Danced. I was hooked. It was a story that had moments of happiness, sadness, anguish, and joy. The main character was a young woman, Justine, who had taught her Sheltie, Mac, to dance, and they performed in many places. Imagine the young woman's distress when she realizes that Mac has gone missing. She searches for him over several states, not realizing that a retired couple has found Mac and have been taking care of him. Mac seems to be just what the couple needs. Their marriage had not been wonderful lately, and their mutual affection for the dog is breathing life back into their relationship. So what happens? Where does Mac end up? This one had me in tears in places, but it was such a satisfying read. Another wonderful story was A Man of His Own. This book takes place after World War II. A couple, Rick and Francesca Stanton, made huge sacrifices for their country. Rick went to serve in the war and has returned severely injured, with his dreams of being a professional baseball player crushed. The couple had also let their dog, Pax, be trained and work for the Army Canine Corps. Pax has returned to America and the couple wants him back. But that poses a difficulty for Keller Nicholson, the soldier who worked and bonded with Pax. The idea of giving up his companion and work partner is unthinkable. The Stantons decide to hire Keller as Rick's live-in aide. This arrangement proves to be both good and challenging for all involved. We see 3 people struggle with their new lives and see how their mutual love of a dog can help them heal. Susan Wilson's stories feature broken people who learn to feel love and hope again after they encounter some special dogs. Here are some Christmas stories. A Dog Called Jack by Ivy Pembroke. Jack is a stray dog living on Christmas Street in London. How can I describe this story? I think the prologue says it all. If Jack had to tell you this story, he'd tell you. This is a story about the things you think you'll never lose in life, the things you do lose, the things that get left behind, either accidentally or on purpose. But it's also a story about the things you think you'll never find in life, the things you do find, the things that get left behind by others that you pick up and make into yours. Jack had a family until the day when he didn't, and then what Jack had was a street. Jack lost one family but gained many more. Christmas is a special time. Jack's a special dog. And this is a truly heartwarming story that ends at Christmas time. If you're looking for a little more Christmas magic, check out these Greg Kincaid stories. The Mcrae family and their dogs are featured in 4 different stories. 2 are pictured here. A Dog Named Christmas was made into a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie. Noel is a story of Elle, an oddly shaped dog that Todd Mcrae is trying to train as a service dog. No matter what he tries, Elle can't stay out of trouble. She is usually followed by a chorus of people yelling, "No, Elle! No, Elle!" Her career as a service dog is looking like an impossibility, but Todd has faith in her despite everyone else's doubts. Other problems exist, but it's Christmas at the season of miracles, so who knows how things will turn out. Here are some stories from the dog's point of view. Do you remember The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein? Originally published in 2009, this book was made into a movie in 2019. Told from Enzo, the dog's point of view, the story tells of his relationship with his master Denny, a race car driver. Enzo is a very philosophical dog who believes that if he is a good dog, he will return as a human in his next life. He's ready for that, he believes. His observances are at times touching and funny. This one is a real classic. The mother-daughter author team, Lauren Baratz-Logstead and Jackie Logstead, wrote Joint Custody, a book called The Art of Racing in the Rain Meets the Parent Trap. Gats the dog is sad to learn the man and the woman that he lives with are parting company. He knows that they belong together, and in this comedic romance, he's going to take matters into his own paws to get them back together. His observations and actions are funny and wise. He wants a happy ending for his people and himself. Find out if it happens. The stories of W. Bruce Cameron are also told from the dog's point of view. A Dog's Purpose, A Dog's Journey, and A Dog's Way Home have been made into movies. He now has 9 dog stories for adults, as well as a series of children's books called A Dog's Purpose Tale, or A Dog's Purpose Puppy Tale. These stories are told with warmth, hope, and humor as devoted dogs discover their worth through the lives of the humans they teach to laugh and love. These stories are well worth reading, and the movies are great too. Here are some women's fiction authors. Sue Pettick's books remind me of Mary Kay Andrews' stories, but with dogs. Glum circumstances beset the main character. Things are looking hopeless, but the main character comes up with some ideas to change things and perseveres. There is humor, a little romance, and happiness. In Please Don't Feed the Mayor, we meet Melanie McDonald of Fawcett, Oregon. Fawcett is a tiny town that is dying despite its best efforts to visually improve. More and more residents are moving out. Melanie is concerned. One day she reads an article about an English village who named a local cat its mayor. What if everyone decided to make her dog Shep the mayor? Tourists might come in and see this curiosity and patronize the local shops and restaurants. Aided by her ex-husband Bryce, they work to elect Shep the mayor. Lots of humor and romance in this book. Pet Friendly was Sue Pettick's first book. In this story, Todd Dwyer, a successful app designer, inherits little Archie from his deceased uncle. Although it was not in Todd's plan to have a pet, he reluctantly takes Archie on. After a less than successful introduction to Todd's girlfriend, Gwen, Todd agrees to pass the pup on to his sister. During the road trip to his sister's home, Todd runs into an old friend who runs the hotel where he is staying. Emma is distressed because her hotel has been losing money and she may be forced to close. She is hopeful that the Ghost Hunter conference that the hotel is hosting will help turn things around. With Archie's unwitting help, this story turns into a lively romp. In Boomer's bucket list, Sweet Boomer has been diagnosed with a rare and terminal heart condition. His owner, Jennifer, decides to make Boomer a bucket list so he can best enjoy his remaining time. Imagine Jennifer's surprise when a reporter hears about this and decides to get involved. He travels with her while she and Boomer complete the list, and along the way, Jennifer and Nathan forge a relationship. A very sweet story. Annie England Noblin has written several books. 4 of them are dog tales. She combines stories of young women coming to terms with life's circumstances, with pups that need love and attention and give back so much more. Kirkus Reviews called Sit, Stay, Speak, a read that's full of dogs, romance, and small-town charm. Addie Andrews finds herself living in a tiny town in Arkansas after inheriting her aunt's home. While taking a walk, Addie finds an abandoned and injured pit bull puppy. She rushes the poor animal to the vet hospital. The dog is saved, and Addie names him Felix. He needs her, and she finds that she needs him as well. This book contains some mystery and deals with the topic of dog fighting, so be aware. My favorite of these books was Pupcakes. This book features Teddy Roosevelt, an aging, overweight, and depressed pug who makes his way into the life of Bridie Benson, a recent divorcee. Bridie needs a cheap place to live and has made an agreement with the home's owner, who is now residing in a nursing home. She wants someone to act as the caretaker of the home and Teddy. Although Bridie is not a dog person, she's desperate and agrees to the conditions. Caring for Teddy proves to be challenging at times, but Bridie sees something in Teddy's eyes she can relate to. He is lonely. In spite of herself, Bridie bonds with Teddy, and as she gets her life together, she finds love, fun, work, and friendship. Victoria Shade has penned 3 dog stories, and Who Rescued Who is one of them. When Elizabeth goes to England to see some property she inherited, she finds a tiny puppy. It is freezing and exhausted and alone. William Burke, friend and gardener for her Uncle Rowan, says, "If you find a dog, it is meant to be yours. You can't just pass on what nature has given you." Elizabeth reluctantly takes the pup, knowing that when she returns home, it will have to go with someone else. She's never before had a dog and is at first annoyed at the puppy's biting and potty accidents. But one night, when Elizabeth is particularly upset, she discovers that Georgina, the puppy, is trying to comfort her. They were connected by something so visceral and so unlike anything that Elizabeth had experienced that she didn't want the moment to end. This tale has family intrigue, romance, and lots of puppy love. Also keep in mind Lucy Dillon, who has written several dog stories. In 100 Pieces of Me, Gina is starting over. Her marriage has ended, she has survived breast cancer, and as she moves into a new flat, Gina resolves to keep only 100 things that have meaning to her. It is a difficult decision, but a freeing one. During this time, she fosters a dog named Buzz. Her connection with Buzz builds gradually, but it is a meaningful time, a beautiful story of life, love, and no regrets. Lost Dogs and Lonely Hearts features Rachel, who ends up running a rescue kennel despite knowing very little about dogs. As Rachel finds homes for these dogs, she makes new friends with the dog owners and finds out just who is rescuing who. Mysteries. I don't think there's any mystery here, Casey. I know you're the one who got into that Kleenex box. If you'd like to read some mysteries featuring dogs, you will be delighted to find many at CCPL. Just look around the mystery section and you will find both mystery series and standalone tales starring pups. Lauren Berenson writes the Melanie Travis Canine Mystery Series. She has at least 26 titles in that series. All of these titles are well worth fetching. Check out the Andy Carpenter series and the K-Team series written by David Rosenfeld for some tail-wagging mysteries. Jen McKinley includes dogs in many of her books, including her Library Lovers mysteries and her Bluff Point romances. Diane Kelly writes a series of cozy mysteries called the Paul Enforcement novels. There are at least 8 in the series, and they feature a police officer, Megan Luz, and her smart canine partner, Bridget. And so many other mystery authors also include pups as characters in their books. All it takes to find these books is a glance at the cover. I hope you found a dog story that you'd like to read. It was really fun compiling this list. There was so much to choose from. Thanks for watching today. Remember, What to Read Wednesday is every Wednesday at noon.